anything tomorrow until your most important match.
Yeah, absolutely. So each and every game, very, very important. The Chinese team coming in this, for a lot of people, as the favourites. Boss from Vietnam, Elfish Guy, what do they have to do today? Who are we looking at here if they're going to bring this one through?
Yeah, look, definitely, I mean, a tough competition to go up to start off with for the Vietnamese team. I think looking towards this lineup, we're definitely going to have to see Rudo, the sniper here for Boss, to really step up. He's obviously one of the strong players on that lineup, but it seems sort of like their playstyle a little bit is they'll try and get a pick there with Rudo, and then after that they'll send their three sort of attackers in, Snail, Shady and Rita, to sort of clean everything up on the bomb sites. And obviously they've got their order, Ali, you know, calling the shots there, but definitely it seems like it comes down to Rudo getting that initial pick with the sniper rifle. And
when you're talking about the sniper, of course, all gamers are known for running that two-scope setup. How's that going to play out in comparison?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, a tough competition to start off with for the Vietnamese team, because we know 70kg, he's sort of a star player, obviously, for this lineup. One of the most prolific players coming around at the moment in Chinese Crossfire. And LSN, of course, the secondary sniper for this lineup as well. He's obviously doing quite good work. So both those guys are going to be a tough opposition, really, for Rudo to go up against. And, you know, 2 against 1, maybe not going to be the easiest of tasks. He's going to have to be really on his game.
Yeah, you need to be right there on that sniper rifle, ready to go. Of course, earlier on we saw Pacific Macta up against Hermel Brave. Yeah. And obviously the home side coming through. 10 and 6, to be fair, was a pretty convincing defending side from the Filipino team to begin with. And they brought it through in the end.
Yeah, definitely. Starting off 7-2 on the first half, I thought that was a very good scoreline for Pacific Macta, probably in line with what we would have expected coming out from them up against their opponent there. And to be honest, I think they might have let a little bit more through in the second half, which, if they perform like that up against the Chinese team, then definitely they're going to get punished for it. But they were able to get enough up against the Brazilians, so they do pick up the win. But I think there was some shakiness, I suppose, there, that maybe, you know, if that can be abused by some stronger teams, then definitely things are going to get a little bit difficult here for the Philippines.
Well, that's it, of course. Coming in, for all of these guys are now playing, you know, their first game of today. They're going to play another 2 coming through, of course, during this round robin. But your first game on stage, always a little bit nervous, perhaps, and it can be difficult going up against some of the top teams. So for Pacific Macta, perhaps they were lucky to have gone up against a team that they could defeat with those nerves. If they'd gone up against the Chinese, I don't know. We'll see how they go later. Yeah, they'll get the warm-up.
Yeah, exactly. That game obviously is going to be coming up later. China versus the Philippines. That's definitely going to be probably, in my mind, sort of a grand final preview almost. I think those 2 teams should be the ones that we'll see tomorrow evening. But, I mean, we have to still see how the rest of today plays out. I mean, best of ones, it's always potential for an upset to come in here, and maybe one team comes in not on their game, they lose a game, and then all of a sudden they're sitting in that 3rd position or the 4th position where they wouldn't have expected to find themselves in.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Vietnamese team, of course, they've come through, they've had quite a good record in their own league. And they're coming through today up against ALLGAMERS as their very first game of the day. So if they can bring through some of, you know, they're coming through with quite a good record. They're coming through with some momentum from their own league. They just need to bring that through today and you know, really be on their game.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's not like this team here from Vietnam has, you know, not been around for very long. They're definitely a well-experienced lineup. 4 of the core members coming from Cybercore, which was one of the teams that competed at the Grand Finals last year in China. So 4 of those players have got a huge amount of experience, especially on a big stage. So, you know, they've joined up with Rita, coming in from the Vietnam Middle Alliance, a new player to come into this sort of a roster. But definitely, as a unit, they've been playing together for quite a long time.
All right, let's go and check out what map we are going to be playing here. Of course, in a best of 1, the map can make all of the difference, Elfish Guy.
Yeah, absolutely, and looks like it's going to be Port by the looks of things here, so we'll have to see how that one turns out.
Yeah, it should be interesting for sure, and you can see that this map's quite even in the way that it's set up, starting from the bottom, pushing forward and opening up across the map, both the A site and the B site there. So, you know, if you can push forward perhaps a little bit earlier as the defending side, more choke points to find. Yep. The further back you hold, you know, you may find yourself having to cover up more area.
Yeah, exactly. I actually do like this map quite a lot. We saw it a lot last year at the Grand Finals, and it tends to be a map where neither team necessarily goes to, they don't always go to the B bomb site, they don't always go to the A bomb site. So it seems like an even split, keeps the defenders on their toes, and sort of a bit of a difference between the two sites as well. The A bomb site has some very long sight lines, but the B bomb site, a little bit more close quarters. So we'll probably see a lot of those sniper battles down towards the A bomb site more so than towards the B bomb site.
Well, that's absolutely something I was going to bring up when you're talking about all gamers here and their double scope, double sniper setup.
Yeah.
Perhaps that A side is a little bit more difficult when you're trying to attack into that. Perhaps B is a little bit better, but I guess we'll have to see how they decide to play it.
Yeah, look, I think mid and the A bomb site are going to be very difficult for Boss to sort of try and get into. So I think the B site maybe is something that they're going to have to consider when they're on their attacking side.
Well, we're going to get into the game very, very shortly here. Pitch guy between All Gamers and Boss. What is your prediction for this game?
All Gamers.
All Gamers.
Yeah.
You want to give me a score?
I think 10-5, probably,
okay.
Something like that. It's something in that sort of realm. I think it should be a pretty comfortable victory for the Chinese team.
You're backing All Gamers all the way through to the final, aren't you?
Yep,
Is that
absolutely.
your pick?
I think they'll win.
This is your first chance? Yep. Wow. Big calls coming out from Pitch guys straight up. We'll have to see. I don't know that. The Philippines team has been playing very, very well as well.
Definitely.
And quite convincing. But guys and girls, it looks like we're into the game here. It's going to be Boss up against All Gamers. Let's get into the action.
Yeah, I'll have a look and see. It looks like All Gamers actually starting off on the attacking side here and just sort of peeking in around towards that A-bomb side a little bit, but haven't spotted anyone out. I mean, Boss here are playing quite defensively, quite far back in their sights. Rudo, you can see there with the sniper, isn't really actually peeking down that sight line. He's sort of just holding an angle, playing quite safely at this point.
Yeah, just following out Shady here, just holding this angle, and now we can see the guys starting to grease them as we push down towards the A side of the map, trying to get in the moment. 1:45 on the clock. No one's gone down as of yet. As I say that, the scope, the sniper, Rudo, he's going to get picked up.
Yeah, good grenade coming out there from LSN. So an initial pick comes out for AG, the Chinese team, starting things off well here, but obviously we know an initial pick doesn't always necessarily translate into a round win. And at the moment, it doesn't look like they're going to really push off it. They're playing quite slowly for now. AG sort of just scoping out the map a little bit, figuring out where some weaknesses maybe from Boss might be laying.
Well, it looks like they are definitely pushing towards the A side here. And all 5 players from AG just pushing towards that side of the map. Now that the scope has gone down, it's a little bit more open. We can see a 2-and-2 split coming out from Boss, and the rotation slowly coming across that third plane now. Over towards the A side. LSN picks up Rita straight away. And now Snail goes down as well. That leaves JD and Ali. All TMQ going to get picked up. 53 on the clock. The bomb not yet planted, but a huge player advantage here for AG.
Yeah, 2v4. Difficult task for Boss here on the retake, but they're going to go for it. Shady and Ali making their way forwards here. They have so many players to deal with, and Shady's going to go down as well to LSN, so that makes life so much more difficult here for Ali. It almost feels like an impossible task for him at this stage.
He finds one, even goes down. It's now a 3v1. Ali going to take a bit of damage. They're down to about 50% HP. Bring up the clutch cam. It's going to be a huge clutch if he can do this. 23 on the clock to get the defuse out. So 13 even, and he's going to push forward. He's going to try and make something of this. Gets taken down in the end. To be fair, not a bad first round coming out from AG.
Yeah, they're good pick strat. They get that initial pick. They slowly start to work the map there and obviously make their way into the A-bomb site, which they knew was a little bit more undefended given the fact that they'd taken down Rudo there. And immediately you can see the double sniper setup starts to come out here for AG. We might see LSN traded out, and it looks like he has done that. But at the start of the round, you can buy that sniper rifle, have a look down mid, see if you can spot anyone out, and then go back and buy a regular rifle and make use of that throughout the rest of the round.
For the moment, we can see the guys from AG just holding in mid, a 3-stack. For Boss defending on the A side, 2 over towards B. That's what they did in the first round as well. But so far they haven't managed to lose their player. Rudo still alive with that scope. And we can see if he can do a little bit more damage this round, pushing through. 1:45 on the clock. He's still plenty of time for AG to pick a side. It looks like the bomb's going to start slowly rotating back towards this B side.
Yeah, Rita just hanging on to mid here, but isn't going to spot anyone out. And interesting to see that AG is going to head towards that B-bomb site, considering the success that they had onto A. I mean, in reality, it was quite an easy take, actually, on the A-bomb site. So we'll have to see how they do here on B as they slowly but surely creep their way forward, checking those angles. I'm not making too much noise either, so Boss really at this point don't have a huge amount of information as to where the attackers are going to come from. There's still 3 players more so over towards the A-bomb side of the map, and it's going to be a tough hold here over on the B side for those 2 Boss players.
Yeah, and of course with 4 players pushing over here towards B as well, potential for a few trades to come through. Oh, Ali going to find the first frag, even goes down.
There's a rotate, though, coming across. And, well, the C4's been left in sort of in towards the B bomb site for now, but you can see AG making their way through mid, working that area of the map and trying to capture off some rotators coming across. 70 kg and LSN finding a killer piece, and TMQ also cleaning one up there. So AG looking like another good round to come out from them, but Shady has something to say about that as he finds two. And now, all of a sudden, things, well, as I say that, very quickly going back the way of AG.
It did start to look good there for Boss, but in the end, AG picking up the frags they needed to and securing their second round. 2-0 now the score. They've gone once to A, once to B. Where we're going to go for round number 3.
And we're just going to have a look down mid here with both those snipers, 70 kg and LSN trying to find a pick once again here to start off with AG. And again, we're going to see LSN trading out that sniper for a regular rifle here. So I like what AG is doing with this. They're playing slow. I mean, they know that they have 2.5 minutes to utilize. They're using up all of that time, trying to get the early advantages when they can. And, well, it seems to be working out so far, considering that 2-0 advantage that they have.
Yeah, and of course the scope here for Boss is sitting all the way on the A bomb site. So if they do push down mid, they've got a little bit more sight line there. They don't have to worry about that sniper coming through and picking them up. 1:45 on the clock. Again, just looking out towards this A site, but the bomb at the moment sitting in the middle. So plenty of opportunity for a rotation here back through to B. The 3 stack on A, 2 on B, still coming out from Boss for this third round. So it hasn't worked for them twice, but they're going to try it again.
Yeah, well, I think things are a little bit too early here for Boss to really start changing things up on their defense. I mean, they still have a few rounds to play with here on this first half, so I don't think we need to see anything premature. If this round goes the way of AG quite safely, then I think that's probably the time that we need to see Boss start to change things up here. Maybe go for a push on the defensive side, see if they can catch out one of those AG players. But in saying that, that could almost work into the hands of AG as well, considering that double sniper setup, waiting for those picks.
You can see one player here from AG is pushed all the way to the B side, whilst the remaining 4 players will push out towards A. Still 5 players alive for both sides as we head to 53 seconds on the clock here. As I say that, TMQ will go down. They're going to try and force their way onto the A side. ZQ picks up one. Reed's going to go down there. LSN will find Rudo there with the Deagle as well. 40 seconds on the clock. It's a 4v3, but LSN will go down. And now a bit of work to be done as the bomb plant does go down. So the retakes here in action going to come out for Boss, but a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a real challenge here for AG, but they've answered it well. ZQ picking up a double kill there, and now it's just Snail in a 1v2. ZQ and 70 kg still both alive, and there's not much time here for Snail to work with. Only about 20 seconds as he starts to peek in towards the bomb site. AG not giving him all that much, but now they know his position. He'll get one, but immediately traded out there. So again, another round goes to China. Although, in saying that, it was a little bit closer this time, so Boss, maybe starting to get a wriggle on.
Each round, Boss is getting closer and closer and closer to being successful. Of course, you can't afford to give too many rounds away, however.
Yep.
You said, that you thought all gamers were going to come through and pick this one up and pick up the grand final tomorrow, and then that's a pretty big call.
Yeah, well,
at this stage in the competition. We'll see if Boss can bring this one back, however. For the moment, we can see a very quick push coming out from all gamers out towards the B site. Now, Boss have changed up their holds here, Elfish Club. 2 on B, 2 on A, and 1 sitting in mid. So plenty of time to rotate that third plane if they need to. But for now, the B site is the site of choice here for AG. Will they choose to execute? They've been using up all their time so far.
And interestingly enough as well here for AG, they actually haven't got a sniper rifle on 70 kg, which is something that they've been running throughout the first 3 rounds. And so a bit of a change here from the attacking side, which may again catch Boss off guard. So I like what AG is doing here again. They just keep forcing Boss to really stay on their toes. And at the moment, Boss are having so much trouble, so much difficulty up against this AG lineup, who is really giving them no quarter.
Well, you can see here the Boss have actually moved 3 players over towards A with a 4th, in a close place to rotate across. That means when this 4 stack from AG comes out onto the B site, it's going to be very, very difficult for Boss to hold this one back.
Absolutely. This is not looking good at all for the defensive side. Shady, though, will start things off very nicely, but is traded there. Rita picks up 1. LSN actually gets 2 and 3 for LSN. Oh, my word. We're going to see Boss just sort of falling apart there initially, but really pulling things back.
LSN went over to the A side, and now it's his job to come over towards B, but it will not happen. Boss find their first round of the match. 3-1. Getting back into it, we said they're getting better and better, and now they finally pick up a round here.
And that looked like a very tough situation, really, for Boss there, considering they only had a couple of players over towards that B bomb site, but you saw a very strong defense coming out, and unfortunately at the moment for Boss, well, or fortunately, maybe, you could say. Rita and Rudo have yet to actually frag, so there is still a little bit left in the tank here for the Vietnamese team. Really, at the moment, being carried by Shady and Ali, who have 7 and 6 kills apiece. So I still feel like Boss have something to show us here on this defensive side.
Well, that's true. If if you're only firing on 3 or 5 cylinders, once you get all guns blazing off each guy, really, that gives you an opportunity to get into it. And the rest of the team certainly picked up so far. Let's see what the other 2 players from Boss can do. AG, this round we've got 145. They're using up plenty of time, as we've seen from them before. At the moment, just holding towards the A side. The bomb sitting back towards spawn, however. They need to pick it up and decide which way they want to go. Looks to me like a 5-stack coming out towards A. And you can see one player trying to rotate around from Boss as well, perhaps, to get around the right-hand side of the map as he drops back towards A for now. 120 on the clock. Looks like an execute here. Going to come out on towards this A side.
Yeah, difficult, though, for AG, considering Boss have actually got 4 players over in this spot. And, well, that's not something that AG have faced so far heading in the direction of the A site. We'll have to see what they can do here on this take, as Rudo is going to be sitting up there with his, well, actually he's got a rifle here, no sniper rifle coming out for him, but 2 entry frags coming out for AG. They do get a 3rd as well. Rudo managed to trade one back, but overall LSN is going absolutely ham at the moment on Boss. 13 kills coming out for him, and it's looking like it's going to be a 1v4 here. Shady probably can't pull this one off, but geez, look at that, 13 kills after 5 rounds.
Yeah, that's huge. That's actually massive.
More than 2 kills around.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing to point out there was that those 5 players from AG executed onto a site with 4 players from Boss.
Yeah.
All in defensive positions. And absolutely
it's not looking good at all here in the man-for-man duels, really, considering Boss are just losing players across the board. Shady goes down. That's a very important pick for AG, actually, considering he's been, on paper, the best player at the moment for Boss.
5 players left alive here for ALLGAMERS, and they're pushing towards B site for now. 4 players left for Boss. They've got 2 on A, 2 on B. You can see one of them considering that rotation over towards the B site for now. But with 145 remaining on the clock, plenty of time to decide to change it up. And it looks like ALLGAMERS are going to try and push towards the A site once again.
I feel like whatever site AG goes to at the moment, really, they're going to be able to pull off the win. It's just, there hasn't really been that much of a defense from Boss. We saw 1 round, but in saying that, it was a very close round as well. So, I don't know. I'm not confident about Boss here on the defensive side.
Well, let's take a look at this now. All 5 players here from ALLGAMERS pushing towards the B site. They've grabbed the bomb. They've rotated back to the other side of the map. They're going to try and execute here. Ali sitting back behind the box. He has a ton of work to do if he wants to hold this one back. And Smoke's going to come out and try and force these guys to push through with a little bit less vision, but it's not going to matter. TMQ pushes out straight away, finds the frag. The bomb should go down very, very shortly. Rotation come out across the board. Rudo finds TMQ, but he goes down straight away to 70 kg. Clutch can coming up. It's a 1v4. Snail with all of the work to do. It's almost impossible.
Yeah, 1v4 is definitely not an easy task for him coming out here, but he'll give it a go and see what he can do. Comes out even. Does do quite a very good attacking side here.
Yeah, a very, very convincing game start. 1 and 5, certainly not that great. Ellison going to go straight away down to Snell, though, so Snell's going to double his kill count.
That's good for Boss here. It's the first time that they've actually picked up the first couple of frags in a round, and Rudo is also going to chime in with one there onto ZQ. So now, 3 versus 5. Difficult task for AG to come into this one, but there are 2 very low players on that Boss lineup, which could potentially be an easy pick.
The other thing to point out is, of course, they've got full control of this A-bomb side as well. So for the moment, they're not planning the bomb. They're using all of their time to try and hold these guys back, hold back Boss, and wait for picks and whatnot to try and make it a little bit easier, a little bit safer to get the bomb tank down over here on the A site. And still so much time to work. We can see one of those players from Boss has pushed through, does a bit of damage to MQ, and even both are taking a little bit. But they're going to have to do something. Rudo finds even straight away, and now perhaps Boss with the advantage.
Yeah, this is good to see here for Boss. Shady as well, picking up one there on 70 kg. It's just down to TMQ, but the real takeaway for that one is that Rudo is starting to get frags on the board here for Boss, and we spoke about that before the match started. Rudo is such an important player for this lineup with that sniper rifle. Hasn't really had that much of an impact. It's really been Shady and Ali who've been doing the majority of the work for this team, but now that Rudo is starting to, you know, maybe get some points on the board, he can get that momentum flowing, get that good feeling, and potentially we can see a bit of a comeback here from Boss.
Yeah, well, you know, that sniper rifle position, such a key role in games like Crossfire. And you can see here Rudo just holding back, just trying to find some picks. No one pushing into him at the moment. ALLGAMERS taking this round a little bit slower once again, being a little bit more careful. They took control of the A site last round, but you would have thought they should have been able to get the bomb plant down and hold them back, but Boss pushing through and finding the win. So we're going to rotate over here, push towards this B site. We can see one player from AG sitting in mid, ready to go, stopping those rotations from Boss. Surely these 4 AG players over towards B. Shady finds one, but 70kg picks up a double.
Great stuff coming out there from AG. A good trade, 2-1, that's always good. Now 70kg trying to find another frag. Ali doing a good job of holding things off here, but he's been dropped so low on HP. Meanwhile, LSN has found a couple of frags. It's just down to Rudo now. 1 versus 3, flashed out, and the bomb is going to go down here for the AG side. And we'll see what Rudo can do as he tries to retake this one. Picks up the AK. Bit of a better weapon in these retake situations than sniper rifle. More multi-kill potential, but at this point, I have to say it's going to be a very difficult task for it.
Certainly, as we can see, 2 players quite tagged up here for AG. 20 seconds on the clock. Rudo needs to make the most of this push through. Throws out a grenade, still holding back. Precisely where he is, and ZQ will find the frag.
I really like how AG played that post plant there. They just was spamming Rudo with all of their utilities. Flashbang, smokes, everything were headed in his direction, and it sort of ate up like 10 seconds of his time, which doesn't sound like much, but when you've got to try and defuse that bomb, of course, it's quite a lot of time considering. So overall, a very nicely played round coming out there from AG. 6-2 to start things off. One more round here to play in this first half, but potential here for a 7-2 like what we saw in the first match. We
can see the guys from AG holding a little bit back here, just towards mid. That's allowing Bosch to push through perhaps a little bit further forward on the A site. The guys who pushed forward on B have now dropped back to defend. And LSN is the only one to take damage so far. He's taken quite a bit of damage, to be fair. But those 15 frags, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely. 16 now
yeah.
That LSN is going to find a kill there onto Snail, and that's a huge amount of frags. I mean, even hasn't actually managed to find a frag in this entire game, so really all of them seem to be going over to LSN at this point. ZQ, 70kg also chiming in pretty well, but overall it's been the LSN show, and unfortunately for AG, LSN has actually been taken out here. In saying that, it's a 2v1, so not a bad situation, but that's their main fragger, so maybe there's an entry here for Boss.
Well, you can see that the B-bomb site now completely open for ALLGAMERS to push through. ZQ will take out Shady. That makes it a 4v2. Ali and Rudo with a ton of work to do here to try and bring this one back. You really don't want to let it force out to a 7-2. We saw that happen in the last game. We saw the result was a pretty easy victory coming out.
Even a 6-3 is not great here for Boss if they can get that, but at this point it is definitely shaping up like a 7-2. Ali and Rudo with a big job to do, and again, you're going to see all of those utilities coming out here from AG just to slow things down for those guys trying to retake this bomb site. Even will find a kill there. It's Rudo going down, and now just Ali in 1v4, and he's not going to be able to do that. Actually, a double kill comes out for Even, but overall, the 7-2 in the first half there in the favor of AG on the attacking side. Really, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it took the words right out of my mouth, Elfish guy. That was a very, very good first half, a good attacking half coming out from ALLGAMERS. There were a couple of good rounds coming up from Boss. Of course, they found 2-round wins, but you need way more than that.
Absolutely, 2 is definitely not enough. And also what isn't enough is Rita didn't manage to get a frag at all throughout that first half. So Rita is one of the players that, or is the player really, that joined this core of Cybercore. So we need to be seeing something coming out from Rita here, and definitely it's going to have to show here in the second half, because there's no more chances for Boss. They need to pull off something here. And if they don't, AG are going to just be storming away to a victory.
Well, that's the potential here for them to clean this up in 3 quick rounds. You can see that the way that AG is playing the defense on this map is entirely different to the way that Boss played. We can see they started off with 4 over towards the B side, 1 on A, and now they're stacking into mid. Very quick potential to rotate to either side here.
Double sniper setup as well coming out here. LSN and 70kg taking those away, and so powerful on that defensive side, but you just have to wait for people to walk into your angle, and obviously we'll see it work out relatively well, I expect, here for AG. But in saying that, TMQ is going to be the first one to find a kill. 70kg does get dropped there by Snail, so maybe something opening here for Boss, although in saying that, they are starting to lose players across the board, and the player advantage actually in the favour of AG at this point. Not anymore, though.
Yeah, they will trade one back, but they're still so far back on the map, and they're going to have to make a decision. Which way do they want to push? You can see 1 on A for AG2 over towards the B site. Should not push towards either of these sites. They should have that player advantage, assuming they don't lose anyone else. And Well, still a minute to work with plenty of time, but they're going to have to make a decision here, Elfish Guy. They're going to have to commit to one of these two sites.
Looks like it's going to be the B-bomb site for the moment here for Boss. So, as you say, about a minute to work with, which is still enough time to rotate over towards the A site. But here, Boss do seem to be slowly but surely making their way in the direction of the B site. 3 versus 3, and they have a couple of players over towards the B-bomb site to deal with. It seems like AG have read the situation well. They know that Boss is sort of hanging around towards the B site here, so they've floated another player over there, and it looks like we're going to be seeing LSN start to rotate across quite early as well. So this is going to be a tough take for Boss, but they absolutely need to pick it up. There goes Ali finding the entry frag, and now just one player on the B site. LSN coming in, though, from the side, and hasn't really managed to do a whole lot. It's actually 2 versus 3, but look at how low all these Boss players are. The bomb goes down. Rita does manage to pull off one. It's now just 1 versus 3 for LSN, and well, he's looked good so far, but not quite good enough there to pick up a kill.
Yeah, certainly not. But the guys from Boss will pick up a round here, Elfish Guy. Maybe they enjoy attacking a little bit more than defending. Either way,
perhaps
a round on the board certainly counts here, and that's precisely how they needed to start off this second half.
It is indeed 3-7 overall here. It's still not a great scoreline for Boss, but definitely starting to get something on the board, and that's what we need to see coming out from them. So again, they'll be playing quite slowly, and AG this time opting just for their single sniper setup, and they're playing a little bit further back, so maybe AG last round, just feeling very confident, trying to put the pressure on Boss early in the second half, but they've recognized now that Boss are a strong opponent, and they're going to give them the respect that they deserve.
Yeah, and an entirely different setup coming out. Just straight away, they're not even going to try it again. They're not even going to try and make it happen.
Yep.
So holding very, very far back, allowing Boss to push through as far as they want to here, to get as much information as they can. And for now, with 140 on the clock, you're going to have sides. You can see they're split at the moment in the middle, but a few players heading towards B. They had success on B before. Potential for them to do the same thing again. The hold that AG had on the B site really got decimated very, very quickly last round.
Yeah, look, I think Boss can take quite a lot of confidence out of that one. Obviously, they're not too keen to head over towards the A-bomb site. They know that's likely to be where 70 kg is lurking with that sniper rifle, and he was a key player for AG on the first half. Probably just a little bit eclipsed by LSN, but definitely not something the Boss want to be running into. So for the moment, they are starting to work a little bit more towards the B site. Although in saying that, the bomb floating a little bit more towards the A-bomb site. So perhaps a potential rotate coming out here from Boss.
Yeah, we can see that Boss is using up every ounce of time they have on the clock here. It's a resource to be used, Elfish Guy.
Yep.
So, definitely make the most of it. 50 seconds remains here. It looks like they're going to try and push over towards B for now. We can see the scope. We talk about this scope on AG, potentially the double scope sometimes, and he's over on the A site for now. So they're going to be able to push through to B here without having to worry about that. 2 players sitting here for AG ready to go. The other 3 are going to be have to push across and try and retake. We follow Ali out. Flash is out there. Rita gets flashed as well. Rudo goes down. Snail gets picked up. Rudo on low life here, but they should be able to get the bomb plant down very, very quickly. 18 seconds on the clock, lots of work to do.
It was a good attempt from Boss there to get the execute going, but the kills just didn't come across, but now they do. Ali finding a couple there, and Shady also chiming in with a double of his own. It's all down to TMQ, gets behind, and he does manage to pick up Rita, but won't be able to get any more than that, and I did like that very much from Boss. They had some set smokes coming out there, they threw them across before they entered the site, the flashbangs come across, and they tried to get into the bomb site. It didn't quite work out initially, and they were able to get some frags later on in the piece, but I like at least that Boss are able to get something done on this B site.
I think something to note here is, of course, that AG, when they hold so far back, it doesn't give you very much information. No. It's hard to know. You've got no one out there lurking, no one out there picking up the info, working out where your opponents are going. So when they do choose to execute, even though you've got 5 players still alive, not all of them are where you need them.
Yeah, exactly. And for the moment, it's not working out too well for AG. They do have a bit of a different defensive setup this time. You can see they have a player a little bit further forward, TMQ this time. So potentially they are sort of thinking in the same direction as you are. They need a little bit more information. They need to know what Boss are doing on that attacking side. And at the moment, they haven't actually got that much information. So again, a little bit in the dark is AG for now. And it's just going to really come down to their aim. Looks like Boss may be setting up for an A take here potentially, but now that you see the bomb rotating back over towards B, I think maybe they're just going to default back towards the B side again. And to be fair, it's been working out quite well. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, this time it's going to be very different because you can see that the guys from AG have pushed a long, long way forward here on this B side. Ready to go. Ali goes down straight away. DQ picks up one. ZQ gets one as well. Shady will trade him back. It's now 3v4 though. Boss losing 2 players in that battle, but TMQ very, very low on life. The bomb going to swap back around, heading towards the A site for now. You can see that AG get a sense that this is happening, and perhaps they might move across as well.
Yeah, that player advantage here for AG is so crucial. And it is right, you're the double fake sort of coming out here from Boss. They rotate back to A, but now they're rotating back towards B, and it seems like AG is sort of quite content to go for a default setup, a 2-2 setup. And now Boss are really letting that timer tick away quite a lot. 40 seconds left on the clock, it's definitely enough. But all of a sudden, you know, you think, okay, we've got some time, and then it ticks down, and you've got 20 seconds left to get in there and get that bomb down. So I don't want to see Boss let this one sort of slip away just by letting that timer tick away.
Well, ALLGAMERS have not successfully defended the B site yet, so they're going to have another opportunity to do it this time around. Let's see how they play it out. You can see the bomb's been allowed all the way into the site, and it should be planted successfully here. It certainly is. And now it's a 4v3 retake coming out from ALLGAMERS.
Yeah.
You can see the hold by Boss is quite far back on the side as well. And they're going to wait till they have all 4 players to try and retake this position.
Yeah, very good post-plant situation here for Boss. There's been so much time ticking away for AG on this retake, and they're not even going to be able to do it. LSN, TMQ, and even going to be going down. 70 kg also gets dropped. Great stuff there from Shady in the 1 versus, well, essentially what it was a 1 versus 4, because he picked up pretty much all the kills.
Look, they've hit the B site 3 rounds in a row, and still ALLGAMERS have not been able to work out how to defeat it. They've held back, they've pushed forward, they've tried everything, and they still haven't been able to hold these guys back.
I would really like to see a bit of a stack over towards the B side here for AG, because we've seen Boss, as you say, head in that direction 3 times, and it does seem like AG have adapted a little bit here. They have put a player or an extra player over towards that B site. And in the meanwhile, 70 kg also picking up an initial frag there for AG. So things are starting to look a little bit better for them in this round. But still, Boss have looked very good on that attacking side. 5-7 now, the overall score. Still in the favour of AG, but things are starting to get closer and closer.
Yeah, well, when we were talking about how AG were probably the favourites coming out of this, seeing 3 rounds in a row go across the Boss really might change that up in this round. Going the way of AG, however, they went to push towards the A site, not successfully. You will see 2 players go down straight away there for Boss. 5 still alive for ALLGAMERS, and now with 1:25 on the clock, they need to make a decision. How are they going to play this one out?
I think they're going to default back over towards the B bomb side, at least from the direction that they're trying to head in, but it does seem like I'm wrong. The bomb making its way towards A for now. Maybe a fake to happen? That could potentially be quite good. I mean, Boss have hit that B bomb site 3 times in a row. Although it does seem like Rita, with the C4, is starting to rejoin his teammates. And again, AG, they do seem to have been, you know, a little bit perplexed by this. They have only got 2 players over towards that B bomb site. And so we'll see what Boss can do on the entry. They're going to need to hit some pretty nutty frags to start things off.
Yeah, they certainly will. Ali going to get a nade coming out towards him, not going to do any damage. However, we'll follow him through here, just trying to work his way through and find perhaps one of these guys who might rotate across. TMQ will go down. It's now a 3v4. 35 on the clock. The bomb yet to be planted. You can see 2 players steal from AG, holding on the back of the site. But those 2 players from Boss have come in the middle there, and they're trying to cut off these rotations. Rita finds 1. The CPU gets 2. Snail takes out LSN, and now Snail, the last one left alive here for Boss. Oh, it's a 1v1. 70 kg up against Snail.
15 seconds left on the clock here. Snail needs to pull this one off, and he's not. Oh, he is going to be able to do it. I thought he checked the wrong angle, but a fantastic flick comes out from him. And there you go. That's 4 on the board in a row here for the Vietnamese team, and things starting to look a little bit shaky for AG.
Wow, an absolutely huge attacking half coming out from Boss from Vietnam. 4 from 4 on the B side. AG really need to work this one out.
Just stack 3 players over towards B. I don't know what's so difficult. Leave 70 kg over towards the A bomb site with that sniper. He can look down that long angle. He gets a very early sort of information because they're coming from such a long way away. That allows heaps of time for the rotate from the B site or even from mid. You know, just go 3-1-1. Good setup there for AG, but at this point, it just doesn't feel like they're adapting.
No, you can see this is a little bit interesting. That we've seen quite a lot of opportunity here for the guys from AG, that you keep seeing like a 2-player stack up the far left of the map over towards that B site, perhaps just lurking, waiting for that retake, but they haven't even been able to retake successfully. Last round was as close as they got, and I feel the only reason they got close was because Boss came through with less players to begin with.
Yeah, it was crazy there, actually, Boss, to be able to pick up a 5 versus 3. There's almost no situation where you can really win that fight, but Boss made it happen, and now, you know, they're starting to look like the team here that could potentially win this one out. I mean, they are still behind, but the momentum is definitely with them.
Well, yeah, they're behind, but they're behind by 1 here, and if they pick up this round, scores will be even. And, you know, when you're so far ahead, 7-2 ahead going through the first half, coming back and seeing that score evened up in the second half is really, could be quite disheartening for all gamers here. So it'll certainly be interesting to see how these guys react, if they can come back, if they can get some momentum going their way. But for now, the B bomb site momentum here for Boss has been, you know, B for Boss, Selfish Guy. They just keep pushing it.
Exactly.
It's working.
It certainly seems like it is going that way. AG at the moment not having a good time holding off on it. And once again, it does seem like we're going to be seeing Boss head in towards that B bomb site again, trying to take control of that mid area of the map, stop the rotators. And once again, it works out very well for Boss. Rudo and Snail finding the entry phase. Snail finding another one as well for himself before Rudo eventually gets traded. And now it's LSN trying to do all the work for his team. But you have to say in a 1v3, he doesn't almost have any chance.
Well, he shouldn't have any chance. You can see he falls back on the bomb plant to go down, eventually getting picked up there by a nade from Rita.
Oh.
Scores are even, Elfish Guy.
Yeah, Boss there getting very pumped up as well. It looks like they're super keen to pull this one off, pull off the win against AG. And what a win it would be to come back.
Well, certainly would be absolutely huge. Even the fact that they've managed to come back and even these scores now. But AG has not had an answer. They really don't seem to have any clue of what they want to do, how to hold on this B site. And you can see they've got 4 players sitting towards the left-hand side of the map here, ready to go at 2 minutes on the clock. Yeah,
I feel like 70kg isn't having the most impact over towards that A bomb site. I think you could probably swap him over towards the B bomb site. You know, change things up a little bit there for AG. Boss haven't really had to deal with the sniper as they've headed in towards that B-bomb site, so maybe that could be the difference here. But at the moment, 70kg, again, just going to be holding on to that A-bomb site. I feel like he needs to swap with someone on the B. Well,
that's what we spoke about at the start of the game as well, how you know, if the sniper's going to be effective, it's going to be effective over towards A, perhaps near mid. But on the B side, it's far less effective, and I think perhaps that's why Boss are continuing to push their round after round.
You're right, but in saying that, I mean, nothing's working for AG, so I think you might as well just throw a spanner in the works and see what happens. And at the moment, 70kg hasn't got involved, really. He's picked up 1 frag, and the strength of the sniper rifle is that one-shot kill. So if you just keep moving around the map with that sniper rifle on the defensive side, it's obviously going to put, you know, a bit of doubt in the minds of Boss here. Can they, you know, go towards B? Can they go towards A? They don't know where the sniper rifle is. You see again, TMQ pushing aggressively forward on that B-bomb site. Again, it works out quite well for him. He's actually going to fall back here wisely, I think. Last time he stuck around a little bit too long.
Yeah. He did, and it didn't work out very well for him. But this time he's picked up Rudo, and now with 50 seconds on the clock, AG find themselves with a player advantage. Can they hold on to it? Well, nades, the smoke coming out here towards the B side. Shady Snail and Ali both take damage. They all go down very, very quickly. Snail now the last one left alive. This round is going entirely different here for AG.
Snail, alpha player there for Boss, but unfortunately not this time. And finally we see a round bounced back by AG on the defensive side. Now 8, and they actually take the lead once again.
Only took 6 rounds, Selfish Guy.
Yeah, well, it's enough. If they can win the last 2.
Well, that's it. They only need 2 more rounds at the next 3 here, and well, we'll see if they can do it. They may have stemmed the tide here, Elfish Guy, picking up a win finally on the defending side. That was so impressive when attacking.
It could potentially be enough here to turn things around in their favour, really stop the momentum from Boss, who were, or sort of did have a bit of a train rolling along quite nicely there, but now they've lost the initial pick again. 70kg getting that one, and the job is going to get ever more difficult here for Boss as that timer ticks away. So Ali is going to find one, traded out, so not great for Boss in a 5v4 situation. One is definitely less than ideal. LSN also chiming in, so across the board, the guys from Boss just dropping like flies.
Yeah, they
plenty, and they've actually kind of got control of the A-bomb site. They've, in a sense, almost got control of the entire defensive side of the map. AG have kind of given that up to them, and I think what AG are trying to do here is just play for that 3v2 retake.
Well, they're playing for the C4, Elfish Guy. You can see it's all the way back.
It is, exactly. It's trouble here for Boss. They're trying to retake it, and LSN is really giving them a bit of trouble. Rudo, though, finds 2, and now 1v1. Can he pull it off? Unfortunately, has to get the reload, and, well, he's going to be cleaned up there, but that one certainly went down to the wire. Again, AG find another round, though, and now on match point.
Yeah, getting very, very close, looking for those 10 rounds to grab the victory in game number 2 of the day between Boss and ALLGAMERS. All of these games very, very important, Elfish Guy. You want to get the top of this round robin group. You want to win all of your games.
Yeah.
And, well, a pretty shaky start, to be honest, for ALLGAMERS coming out, considering you know, so many people consider them the favourites.
Yeah, I think so. I think they might have just let a little bit too much go here on their defensive side. But in saying that, you know, this is not yet done. Potentially, Boss can bring this one back to 9-9. And who knows what can happen from there. For now, though, AG are going to start off well, but Shane is now chiming back in. And, well, overall, a pretty good trade there for Boss, 3-2.
Yeah, it's now 3v2. LSN trying to do some work, and he will find Rudo. Rudo trades out 70 kg, but the round is going to go to Boss. They stay in the game.
Well, just comes down to this last round now then, doesn't it? Could
Certainly
be 9-9, could be 10-8.
We'll see. I think the guys from ALLGAMERS are certainly going to be like, look, we had such a great start. Surely we can't let this one come back.
AG are changing things up here. You can see immediately 4 stacked over towards the A-bomb site. Looks like they're going to try and boost into that connector. And LSN is going to get in there. So, I mean, Boss don't tend to actually utilize this area of the map all that much. But if he can push through, get some information, get a frag or two, that's going to be huge. But Ali and Rita finding one apiece. LSN is down. TMQ trades one back at least for AG. But overall, a very good trade for the attacking side. And now AG, the defense is scrambling a little bit.
Yeah, now it's a 4v3, 150 on the clock. The bomb is on the ground for now, but they should be able to get it back here. What can the 3 remaining players from AG do on defense? You can see they're all going to fall back. They don't want to lose their life. They want to work out which way the bomb is going to go. They want to try and play for a retake here, perhaps. Maybe find a quick frag to bring it back to a 3v3. Shady has now picked up the C4, and for now it looks like he's holding towards this A side of the map.
Desperate times now for AG. 70 out mid, but not be able to find too much. Actually has a few bullets in his direction, but they don't really manage to connect all that much. So AG at the moment still survive with 3 players, but we're going to have to see something huge coming out from one of their players. And I mean, admittedly, I've got to look towards TMQ here with 11 frags for his
Và bây giờ thì sẽ là một góc cam nhìn vào ở đây với
He'll have to step up once again, perhaps one last time. We'll see how this one goes though.
3 players here from Boss pushing towards the B side. You can, really, that key there is the anchor. The anchor should not move until you can see the bomb.
Rằng là không ai trên A và ông sẽ hoàn toàn clear. Thì bây giờ Snail ở đây fake được B rồi, rất tốt tới từ bên phía của Boss. Họ fake được bom B, bom A hoàn toàn trống trải. Bây giờ Ali chỉ việc chốt chặn, Bruno chốt chặn và để cho vị trí Sentinel đặt bom và không được mắc lỗi cho tình huống đấu súng từ xa tới từ bên phía của Boss. Và bây giờ để cho việc người đi móc ở khu vực mid, đó là Snail, một cái chiến thuật đặt ra và áp đặt lên AG cho cái lượt thi đấu này là cực kỳ tốt tới từ Boss. Đó là 5 chàng trai chuyên chơi backup tới từ Boss. Như tôi đã nói thôi, cái việc chiến thuật họ chơi là tốt, nhưng bây giờ 70kg anh ta hạ gục được Snail rồi. 3 đấu 3, 70kg thất máu, 73 nằm xuống. Sadi có mạng, Ali có mạng. Và bây giờ GQ 1 đấu 3 là không thể. Chắc chắn luôn, một double kill của Ali. Và như vậy là hòa 9 đều dành cho Boss. Và một tình huống lội ngược dòng để đem về một tỷ số hòa cho Boss rồi. Rất tốt tới từ bên phía BOSSCFVN. Liệu rằng có extra hay không? Tôi đã không biết rằng là có extra hay không. Tuyệt vời 5 chàng trai tới từ Việt Nam này. Cho dù Rudo đang không có phong độ tốt, nhưng thật sự rằng một cái đao đấu cuối cùng là một cái đao đấu mà không phải là skill, mà đó là cái đao đấu mà tôi có thể thấy rằng là chiến thuật, là dùng tư duy, bộ não để có thể áp đặt lên đối thủ, và điều đó đem lại được cho Boss còn một chiến thắng để gỡ hòa được. Họ thua 7-2, sau đó họ cũng bật 7-2 trước bên phía của AG. Ăn miếng trả miếng.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really open, and time and time I think they successfully defended it once. Yeah, exactly. And you can see as well towards the second or the last stage of that second half, they were really scared about that B-ball side, especially in that last round. They immediately floated that A player over towards B in that 3 versus 4 situation, and that kind of cost them that A-bomb side as well. You know? So they definitely feel like their B-bomb side takers before they start to hold this week. So they're trying to adapt to it, but they're just not doing it at the right time. They're giving up that A-bomb side, and of course, Boss is very content to just sort of walk in there and plant the bomb. Well, absolutely, of course. When you get to that point, you know, it's the best of 60 now coming in through to overtime, and how do you play this as ALLGAMERS? Like, you started off so well, and all of a sudden, you know, you thought we just need 3 easy rounds here on defense. Well, it's all falling apart.
I feel like they have to, regardless of what side they start on.
Có lẽ sẽ là có extra 4 round. À không, golden round luôn. Giữ nguyên side. Một round đấu duy nhất để có chiến thắng. Chỉ một round duy nhất cho cái lượt đấu này. Tiếp tục là tấn công bombsite và phòng thủ bombsite sẽ lại là bên phía của AG. Một round đấu duy nhất để cho bên phía của BOSSCFVN giành chiến thắng trước AG. Nếu như mà giành chiến thắng trước AG thì đúng là cái chức vô địch của Crossfire Style Invitational tại Manila lần này. Chúng ta có cơ hội để đem cúp về.
Was it a matter of Boss just having those first game jitters coming into land? Is it a case of the fact that the guys from ALLGAMERS just don't know how to defend his beat side? Or they just, is it just that so much easier to attack?
I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you, for ALLGAMERS. Like, it just felt like some of their players weren't getting involved on the defensive side. So I still would love to see 70kg roaming around the map a little bit more. We did see him rotate a little bit towards mid. He was obviously holding on towards that A-bomb site for the majority of that second half, but when he got into mid, he got a bit to start things off there. So I would love to see him floating towards mid, floating towards B, floating towards A, and really just being the power play here for AG. But it looks like we're into the second half, or, well, the third half, I suppose.
Yeah.
The overtime, and AG and Boss, well, who would have thought we'd seen them here?
Yeah, absolutely not at the start of the game. And when you've got such a crucial player like 70kg and you
Và như vậy là chúng ta sẽ đến với Golden Round cho lúc này. Round đấu duy nhất để BOSSCFVN liệu có chiến thắng hay không. Họ đang làm quá tốt rồi. Thực sự nếu như để thua trong round này, đó sẽ là một điều thực sự là quá hối tiếc dành cho Boss. Chỉ một round duy nhất mà thôi. Giờ Ali có lẽ Sadi mò lên cống rồi. Ali cũng đang ở đây. Một tình huống không vào hầm B có vẻ như là một quyết định đúng đắn khi tôi đang thấy có hai người là TMQ cùng với CQ đang ở khu hầm B ép ra. 70kg thì vẫn ngắm ở khu vực bom A. Như vậy là GQ có một mạng, Rita đổi mạng rồi. Chỉ là một tình huống 1 đổi 1 mà thôi, nhưng Rita mất đi cho mình một nửa lượng máu. Rita nằm xuống. 3 đầu 4, Event còn có cho mình một lượng máu không còn nhiều. Vẫn có thể làm được tới từ Boss. Và chúng ta vẫn còn hai người phong độ cao nhất lúc này của bên phía Boss là Sadi và Ali. Rudo trong những tình huống quan trọng và anh ta vẫn đang có thể có được những cái số mạng để giúp đỡ cho cái đầu đội mình không phải gặp quá nhiều khó khăn. Và Rudo đang ở trên khu vực cầu này, khu vực cống, và anh ta muốn bay khu mid để muốn bay là cầu hay chăng? Đã có một quả flash vào rồi. Fake 70 ngắm thẳng về cầu. Sẽ là bỏ mid và TMQ ở đây. Anh ta đang ở trong B. Fake vào và Ali có một mạng của TMQ. Event thấp màu, Event đang phải trốn đi. Bom được vứt ra, Ali lao xuống chơi hổ báo luôn ở đây. Ali nên cẩn thận, Ali sẽ là bắn vào nhưng vị trí của EOSN và anh ta có được number kill của Ali. Tuyệt vời từ Ali với 3 mạng trong round này. Bây giờ 70kg 1 đấu 3. Glasscam của 70kg không thể, chắc chắn là không thể. Và như vậy là 1-0 cho lượt này. Và như vậy là BOSSCFVN họ đã có được round thắng này. Golden round hay extra? Thế lại là extra. Tiếp tục bắn tiếp rồi, lại là chạm 4 chứ không phải là Golden round. Như vậy là chúng ta sẽ tiếp tục bắn ở đây. Round đầu tiên trong lượt extra này. Xong chưa? Tôi thấy như thế đây là xong rồi. Hay chưa xong? Có vẻ là bị tụt cái gì đó. Vâng, bạn đã tiếp tục quay trở lại. Và có lẽ nó sẽ là chạm 3 đổi bên và 4 để giành chiến thắng chứ không phải là Golden round. Golden round thì hơi liều quá. 1-0. Không, những cứ bắn như vậy thôi là sẽ thắng. AG đang tâm lý rồi. Cứ nghĩ rằng là Golden round nhưng không phải. Tin tình báo của tôi nó sai. 6 round các bạn ạ, 6 round. Tin tình báo nó sai gấp đôi luôn. Bảo là Golden round xong bây giờ tôi tưởng là 4 và bây giờ nó lại là 6 round. Thế thì là chạm 4 đổi bên thì phải. Extra 6 round. Không sao cả, càng nhiều thì cũng như vậy thôi. Chúng ta bây giờ cứ ra nó khoảng tầm 4-0, 5-0 thì coi như là cũng là xong rồi. Rita có mạng của LSN. BOSSCFVN đang thể hiện phong độ cực kỳ tuyệt vời trong thời điểm hiện tại. Vâng, tiếp đến là Snail có một mạng của 70kg. Cứ đều đều như thế này thôi. GQ hạ gục được Snail rồi. Một tình huống chỉ là 1 đổi 2, không sao cả. Đang đấu súng ở event lại còn có 1 máu vẫn, nhưng bây giờ TMQ còn rất khỏe. Hạ gục được TMQ là xong hết. Nhưng GQ có 1 máu mà thôi. Tiếp đến là double kill của Rita. TMQ 1 đấu 3. Bom chưa đặt. Nhưng vừa rồi là một tình huống Ruro đi lỗi. Cái tình huống như vậy là không đáng có. Rita không được đấu nữa bởi vì lượng máu Rita là còn quá thấp. Rita đi đâu xa vậy? Sadi cũng không được phép đấu bởi vì lượng máu của Sadi là nhiều. Nhưng nếu như bây giờ Sadi mà chết thì thôi. Rip Rita. Bây giờ chỉ việc trốn và kê móc thôi. 20 giây. TMQ còn 49 máu thôi. Bắt buộc hai người phải ra bắn cùng một lúc, 1 trên 1 dưới. Sẽ là mở góc bắn Sadi trước. Sadi nên cẩn thận, nhưng Sadi sẽ nhìn thấy nhau rồi và bắn vào đây, và Sadi chốt được 2-0 dành cho Boss. Tuyệt vời. 2-0 cho lượt này. Cứ nhẹ nhàng và đơn giản như thế này thôi. Câu chuyện là cứ mỗi lần một đội tuyển Trung Quốc đi bắn giải thế giới không phải ở Trung Quốc thì nó lại là như thế này đây. Từ Crossfire Star Invitational tại Brazil năm ngoái, rồi đợt Crossfire Star tại Hàn Quốc 2014 cũng vậy. Hàng loạt các đội tuyển hàng đầu của Trung Quốc bị loại và để lại duy nhất đó là Modern. Và ui dồi ôi, nhìn đồng đội Santo lộn ngửa như vậy thì Sadi nên cẩn thận, và đó là mạng của LSN. Nhưng Sadi ngay lập tức phục thù cho người đồng đội của mình. Ăn miếng nó phải trả miếng và đổi mạng được rồi. Và LSN lên bảng. Bây giờ sẽ là một tình huống di chuyển với 3 người vào trong khu hầm B là Snail, Sadi và Garudo. Rita cũng đã đi về phía cuối rồi. Có lẽ sẽ là một tình huống tấn công vào B khi thời gian thì có lẽ là 55 giây. Đang có một mình GQ ở đây phòng thủ, đó là trên khu vực cao này. Nhưng nếu như phòng thủ vào mà bên phía của Boss check kỹ càng thì thôi, GQ Snail sẽ mò vào và đang chưa thấy ai cả. Mò rất khéo, cái bài này cực kỳ hay tới từ bên phía của Boss. Và đấy, thả đúng một quả thính là Snail di chuyển vào. Nhưng bây giờ mất đi người thôi. 3 đầu 4, GQ mất một nửa lượng máu, GQ lộ vị trí. Chứ nếu như Snail không di chuyển vào thì GQ tối thiểu rằng anh ta có thể móc được 2 người trong tình huống di chuyển vào sai. Bom sai B cũng đã được tràn vào rồi. Event ở đây. Rita có mạng của GQ. 2 mạng double kill của Rita, triple kill của Rita, nó đổi mạng ở TMQ với được double, và đó là Rudo và chốt được rồi. Và như vậy là 3-0 dành cho bên phía của Boss. Tuyệt vời Rita. Trong cái lượt thi đấu đầu tiên Rita có thể là kém, anh ta không giết được một mạng nào, nhưng vừa rồi Rita đã có được triple kill và 7 frag và cũng như dẫn đầu về hiệu số frag cho lượt này. 3 round đã đổi bên. Chỉ với là khoảng 3 round nữa thôi. Hay là 4, tôi nghĩ rằng là 4 chứ không phải là 3 đâu, làm gì có chuyện 6 round được. Tôi không quan tâm như thế nào nữa, nhưng 3-0 cho Boss cho lượt này. Tuyệt vời Rita, tuyệt vời BOSSCFVN. Một cái bài đánh cực kỳ tỉnh táo. Các đội tuyển của chúng ta ra nước ngoài, thật sự để mà nó đúng ra thì chưa có một đội tuyển nào đủ khả năng để giữ tỉnh táo như được BOSSCFVN cho thời điểm hiện tại. Họ thường bị cuốn vào lối chơi của các đội tuyển tới từ Trung Quốc. Và lúc này, các bạn thấy khuôn mặt của 70kg lúc này đang thật sự là gọi là đần mùi chứ không phải là đần thối. Không biết phải làm thế nào bây giờ. Rudo vừa rồi cũng chốt được một phát luôn. Đấy, cứ chê đi, các ông đừng chê người ta. Bởi vì những lúc quan trọng người ta lại tỏa sáng. Thì đấy mới là những cái điều đáng nhớ về những chàng trai của BOSSCFVN.
exactly. The sniper rifles have not been that impressive for AG, but again, there is sort of a reason for that, and that is that Boss have just been smashing on towards that B bomb site. 70 kg, the A side player, and of course he hasn't been able to have much of an impact considering they're not heading in his direction.
Yeah, well that's it, and the one time we saw him over towards B, it was so late in the game.
Yeah.
And they just picked him up anyway.
Absolutely. So tough ask now really for AG to come back into this one. It did look very tough for Boss early on, but they've turned things around quite a lot. I think off the back of some good open from Rudo. I mean, he hasn't been particularly impactful. I think it's mostly been Shady and Ali really who have been doing a lot of the work, and then Rita you saw there as well, picking up one of the important round for his team as well. So overall, it is exactly what we want to see here from Boss. Snail, Shady and Ali doing what they do. You know, if they can get some backup from Rudo, get some picks from him, things are going to look very good.
This game has been so much closer than we expected at the start of the day. If all of these games are going to be like this today at the Sky,
Well, we're in for a long night.
I was going to say it's going to be a very long day, but it's going to be worthwhile. Because every time you think
Vâng, vẫn là chưa bắn nữa, đợi mãi thôi.
game, it's going down to the wire.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a big proving point now as well here for the Vietnamese team. I mean, they went to the finals obviously last year. They didn't have the best of performances. From memory, I don't think they even got out of groups. So to be able to come here and take a game off the Chinese team is a great start for them. And obviously it's going to put a spanner in the works for the Chinese team, who are going to have a really good performance against the rest of the other two teams if they're even going to hope to go through first place.
Well, that's it. I guess the things to point out though, right? We're talking about this like the guys from ALLGAMERS who have been throwing this away. In reality, on the attacking side, these two teams are equal.
It seems that way. 7-2, 7-2.
Yeah.
So
and it's just the fact that the guys from Boss came through and they went to attack first on overtime. So definitely potential here for ALLGAMERS to do the exact same thing. But after such an amazing first half from them, we just didn't expect to see this.
no, not at all. I mean, I thought very much the momentum was with AG there. They should be able to close things out. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a 10-5, and it certainly hasn't gone that way.
Yeah.
So overall, I mean, I'm quite impressed already to begin with here by Boss. Like, I think they're looking like potentially a dark horse coming into this competition. I mean, we didn't really expect a whole lot out of them, but they are experienced players.
Yeah, that's it. That land experience.
They proved that they can perform here.
That's it. The stage is, you know, it's quite a big deal. Of course, we've got such an awesome crowd here today at SMX. And, you know, I think that can play a part in it as well. You can go up against perhaps that a team from the Philippines a little bit later.
Well,
Pacific Macdo, who, to be fair, had a pretty impressive game number one as well.
Absolutely.
You know, I wonder how they're going to fare there.
Well, I think Pacific Macdo certainly at this point are looking a lot better than, well, the teams that we've seen so far. So at the moment, looking like Pacific Macdo might be the best team in the competition on paper. Well, not maybe on paper.
Well,
in practice.
So far, so good for them. It will be the next game. I think will be crucial for them because it will be up against either Boss or ALLGAMERS.
Yeah.
And that will really be able to let us gauge just how strong Pacific Macdo are up against these other international teams. We know they can beat Brazil, but this game is.
Như vậy là bắt đầu rồi. Đổi bên cho lúc này 3-0 đang dành cho Boss. Extra round thật sự nó căng thẳng. Chúng ta đã để thua cái lượt phòng thủ nó quá sâu. Liệu rằng trong cái lượt này thì bên phía của Boss họ sẽ phải làm gì? Họ có thay đổi được cái lối chơi không? Cho dù là bên phía của AG họ đang bị tâm lý, nhưng chúng ta không được chủ quan. Và đây là một chiến thuật thủ với 3A tới từ bên phía của BOSSCFVN.
Just leave 70 kg to take away the primary rifle or the primary sniper rifle as well throughout the rest of the round. For now though, AG, the pressure is very much on their shoulders. And, well, they know that
Snail đang là người phòng thủ bóng A, đổi rồi, Snail thủ A. Đang dàn ra, LSM mất một lượng máu, Rudo bắn trúng. Trông đợi của Rudo trong cái lượt phòng thủ này với KAWM. GQ đang muốn di chuyển ra long A. TMQ ở hầm B lúc này. Bây giờ đang có 2 người trên cống và 3 người trên cống cơ. Một người ở mid có bom, 2 người trên cống và đang có một người ở khu long này. Tới từ bên phía của AG. Có lẽ là họ muốn đánh A. Một lần nữa đánh vào A để cho TMQ fake thôi. Không nên là quá di chuyển vội vàng khi SN đang di chuyển lên ở đây rồi, rất sát rồi. Tiếp tục là chiến thuật bỏ để Rudo có một mạng của SN. Rudo có double kill. Thì bây giờ là Event ở đây và có được một mạng của Ali, đó là TMQ. Event đang bắn Rudo, như vậy Rudo nằm xuống Snail. Event có được 2 mạng và bây giờ là 2 đấu 2. Chỉ làm tướng 3 đổi 3. Snail lên là cẩn thận. Sa đi ở phía đằng xa. 70 kg ở đây, bắn vào. Sa đi nằm xuống rồi. Snail không được và như vậy là 1-3. Cái tình huống phòng thủ đang là tốt và Rudo đang có được những cái phong độ quay trở lại rồi. Nhưng bên phía của Boss cần phải cẩn thận hơn. Buộc phải cẩn thận hơn dành cho bên phía của Boss. Bắn rất tốt từ Rudo trong tình huống vừa rồi. Đội giành được vị trí nhất bảng sẽ được tiến thẳng vào trận chung kết tổng. Hạng 3, hạng 4 sẽ vào playoff. Để tìm ra một đội chiến thắng bắn với đội hạng 2 và sau đó đội giữa hạng trận đấu của với hạng 2 playoff thứ 2 sẽ vào trận đấu trận chung kết cùng với đội nhất bảng. Và tất cả vòng bảng ngày hôm nay sẽ được thi đấu. Và ngày mai chúng ta chỉ thi đấu xem 3 trận đấu mà thôi. 3 trận đấu BOBA. Rudo đã chuyển về AK để bắn rồi. Cái tình huống bắn ngắm của Rudo có vẻ là tốt nhưng nó đang chưa được có sự cơ động nhất định. Tiếp tục là muốn đánh A ở đây, Rudo nên cẩn thận và sẽ có một quả flash được ném lại bởi Rudo hay không. Và như vậy là Rita bị hạ rồi. Những tình huống đánh A của bên phía Boss, của bên phía AG đang thực sự là tốt nhưng một quả flash ném quá muộn màng của Rudo. Điều đó khiến cho anh ta phải lên bảng và Ali có được một mạng và bây giờ điểm tiếp đến là một mình Shadi. Ném là phải ném luôn. 2-3 dành cho AG. AG đang hồi ngược lại rồi. Đâu nữa là hòa. Bắt buộc là phải ném cho mình một quả bom mù xuống khẩn trương nhưng tại sao không ném? AG muốn đánh A liên tục bởi vì cái việc mà họ thủ A ở đây, Ali ở đây rồi. Round này tôi nghĩ rằng họ tiếp tục đánh A thôi.
You need that multi-frame potential coming out from the rifle, but when you've got backup on the A site, why not take the sniper rifle? Such a long angle to watch, and obviously we saw him do such a great job of it in the first round here of the second half of overtime.
Căng rất, dàn trải đội của mình ra của bên phía AG.
Well, it just comes down to this.
Well, that's it. The guys from AG need to win this round to keep themselves in this.
Lúc này Rudo vừa rồi có mạng của LSN, rất tốt từ Rudo, một tình huống bắn ngắm. Rudo đang gọi là hồi xuân rồi. Người ta có được 3 mạng cho mình sau 2 đấu vừa qua. TMQ là di chuyển vào đây có 4 người cho hầm B. Lượng máu của cả 5 thành viên bên phía Boss còn lại là rất nhiều. Shadi thủ ở đây. Sẽ là nhìn thấy TMQ bắn vào ở đây. Shadi rất cẩn thận, anh ta ném ngược quả mù lại. Không, và vâng, vừa định nói even không sao nhưng bây giờ even dính rồi. 4 người vào chiếm tới bên phía của AG và như vậy Rudo có thêm một mạng của TMQ. Chanel có mạng của GQ, Shadi có mạng của 70 kg và Event ở đây 1 không được và Snail đấm cực kỳ nét và như vậy chiến thắng chung cuộc cho trận đấu này dành cho BOSSCFVN. Họ đã hạ gục được nhà đương kim vô địch của Trung Quốc là AG, là BOSSCFVN của Việt Nam. 3 điểm có được và sẽ gặp Pacific Magta và đây là chiến thắng sẽ giúp cho chúng ta nuôi cơ hội đem được cúp của Crossfire Invitational về Việt Nam. Và chúng ta sẽ nghỉ ngơi trong ít phút nữa để đến với trận đấu giữa BOSSCFVN cùng với Pacific Magta để trận đấu quyết định xem rằng tôi tin rằng là Boss có tiến được với trận chung kết của mùa giải năm nay hay không.
The best thing for me to come out of this is the fact that I feel we have a real tournament on our hands here. Definitely 3 teams with the potential to take this out. The Brazilian team with the potential, you know, perhaps it was jitters for them to come through.
Yeah.
You know, you said at the start you felt ALLGAMERS were the team to beat, and well, Boss has gone and done that.
Exactly, and now that sort of makes me question how the rest of today is going to play out because I certainly thought AG was going to be going through in first seed and we'd be seeing them in the final, but now, you know, up against Pacific Magta, that's going to be a tough competition for them, and we've seen them as well. They've struggled, obviously, against Boss, and that sort of opens things up there for Helmo Ray.
Well, I don't know. Do you want an opportunity to change your prediction for tomorrow's final?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with it, I think.
All right.
we'll see how things turn out today. Maybe I'll revise my prediction tomorrow, but I think that might just be first game jitters maybe from AG. They'll go away, they'll think about things, they'll come back and wipe away the rest of today.
Well, to call it first game jitters, that's a pretty big deal as well because they had such a good first half.
Yeah.
The Boss has come through. They are definitely the equals here. For the guys from ALLGAMERS in China. Take a look at some of these replays. There were so many great plays coming out. There were a couple of triple tracks. There were many double kills coming out that really kept Boss in this game, and round by round they clawed their way back until we got to that overtime.
Yeah, look, across the board I think Boss just looked like a very strong lineup. I don't think there was particularly a standout player or a weak link for them. They were all performing quite well throughout, and you know, it works out very well for them. I mean, they picked up the win here against AG, started off the day quite well, and they're going to be joining Pacific Mark II in the 1-0 category.
Well, that's it. I'm very excited for the Crossfire Stars Invitational Manila. We're going to get so many games today in this round robin, heading into tomorrow's elimination bracket final as well. And if the games are going to be like this, we're in for a treat.
It was a fantastic game, so close as well. I mean, like you said, if the games continue to be like this, we're in for a long one, but it's going to be a fantastic day. And a fantastic day tomorrow as well. I mean, a best of 3 for the 3 games. That's going to give more opportunities here for these teams. I mean, a best of 1 is, you know, picking up best of 1 is great, sure, but you really have to show it in the best of 3 as well.
Well, that's it. The best of 1 really can provide that sort of upset kind of possibility coming out. But to be fair, those teams really seemed on par with each other and it came down at the end to one single round. It does not get any closer than that. I thought we were going to get double overtime.
I did too. I honestly thought it was going to go that way, but then, I mean, obviously, AG, they'd been having success on that A bomb site. They decided, you know what, let's go over to B, change things up here. And the change was not necessarily warranted because the A site was working out so well for them, and things just fell apart as they entered towards that B site. I mean, you can see that player who was holding the B site, I think it might have been Shady for Boss. He didn't get a frag on the entry there, but he was able to fall back, kept himself alive, and they retook the site with the player advantage, and it was just a clean sweep, really, for Boss.
Do you think there's a bit of conversation here for the guys from ALLGAMERS about how they reacted to this B site push time and time again, and they allowed it to occur time and time again? They